Caitlin Clark versus A'ja Wilson, the leading scorer of the league and the 2023 champs, in the most packed arena in the WNBA. So who's going to take the win home? Are Aces going to reassert their dominance, or are the Fever going to show that they are worthy of being a championship contender? These are all questions that we will know the answers to by the end of this game. First quarter. The game starts and A'ja Wilson makes the first of many plays for her team to get an advantage early as she wins the tip-off for the Aces against Aliyah Boston. The Aces are one of the best teams in the league, and they show that they have great coaching from the get-go. They start off by running this exceptional play, which can have many different finishes. They are set up in horns formation with the PG on the top, and a guard does the Iverson cut from the right side to the left. She does not get the pass, but the ball goes to the big man on the right. The guard clears her side and goes in the right corner, and after the PG, which in this case is Young, she gets a flare screen on an empty side by the other big. She ends up being wide open and hits the three-pointer to give the Aces the lead. The Fever attack in similar fashion. They run their well-known flex offense, and for CC, she gets fouled while shooting a three and makes all 3 free throws for the first Fever points in the game. A'ja Wilson also makes her presence known, betting her defender baseline and drawing the foul, knocking down both the free throws. However, that's when Caitlin Clark turned the Jets on and did what she does best, facilitating for her team and getting her teammates involved. First off, she hit Samuelson in transition for an easy 2. Next possession, she set up Boston in the pick and roll for a layup, and then she stole the ball and hit Kelsey Mitchell for another dime. All this happened in a span of less than 2 minutes. She did not stop there, as she got a defensive board and hit Mitchell in the corner, who drove and scored a nice reverse layup. And once you get Mitchell going, she will hit shots like these. However, Aces are not one of the best teams in the league for no reason, and they can make stuff happen at will. Kelsey Plum starts by making a couple of free throws and then finally gets Wilson in the pick and roll and wakes her up for what is about to be a long night for the Fever. Wilson scores her first field goal in the game with less than 1 minute and 30 seconds on the clock and ends up scoring 4 more points in the first quarter. And the Aces manage to go up 2 to finish the quarter. Second quarter. In the second quarter, the Aces would start where they left off, as Chelsea Gray plays bully ball and scores a jumper from the post. Yet it's not Chelsea Gray, but it's A'ja Wilson who is going to put on an offensive clinic in this quarter. Putbacks, layups, handles, and ones. She does it all. Whichever way you want, it's impossible to guard her. Did we mention her postgame also? No matter what you do, the only thing the defense can do is just pray that she misses the shot. But those prayers were not answered in this quarter. Not at all, to be more specific, as she continued to fill up the Fever's basket. Turnaround jumper is nice too, and if you get her the ball down low, just go back on defense, because more times than not, it's going to end up a bucket. She definitely showed why she is the leading scorer in this league, and why she is a nightmare for every team on defense and every defensive coverage there is. She has 18 points already, and it's not even the end of the second quarter. Despite Clark's magic assists in the first quarter, she is yet to find her groove scoring-wise, as she has not scored yet from the field in this game. She finally does get a chance to do that with a little more than 2 minutes left to play in the second. Boston was there though, as she scored on a couple occasions to keep the Fever alive. The thing is though, the Aces have more than one way to hurt you, as Kelsey Plum had herself an amazing game too. Going under on the screen is a no-no, and she runs the floor well to get an easy bucket of a broken-up give-and-go play by the Aces. With all that being said, the Aces took a commanding lead in this quarter, hinting which way this game is going to go. In the second half, Aces up by 9, 37-46. Third quarter. The second half began, and Kelsey Plum would waste no time once again, continuing where she left off in the second quarter. But that three-pointer acted as shock therapy for Fever, especially for Caitlin Clark and Aliyah Boston, who were looking to cut the lead and take control of the game. It was Boston who started with yet another putback layup, and then a great pass for a Clark backdoor cut. Clark seems to have received the same energy from Boston, and she began cooking on her own, hitting floaters, three-pointers, and her favorite, mind-boggling assists to her teammates. And this was the most beautiful assist of the night, drawing the big while going to the cup full speed and dropping a gorgeous behind-the-back dime to Boston for the layup. A masterclass on how to use the hesitation on the pick and roll is also taught by her, leaving her defender in the dust on this play, basically doing each and everything to help the Fever catch up to the Aces. But the Aces are not going to just let her do whatever she wants. They are the reigning champs, and other teams gotta prove themselves to them, not the other way around. Kelsey Plum and A'ja Wilson continue cooking their defenders in all sorts of ways imaginable. With Plum, you really don't know what to do, because if you leave her open like here, she's just gonna make the shot. And if you get too close, she's gonna blow by you and she is going to finish at the rim. A'ja runs the floor well, and she gets rewarded for it. And when she faces up, there's no defender that can guard her in the WNBA. But in this quarter, Fever played slightly better, especially towards the end, thanks mostly to Kelsey Mitchell that hit some tough jumpers, that everyone that plays basketball or has played knows how tough it is, and Aaliyah Boston who crashed the glass once again. Fever ended up winning this quarter by 3 points. It was a 9-point lead at the half, and now it's cut to 6 to end the third. Fourth quarter. So far, this game was close, and although the Aces had the lead most of the game, the Fever still had a chance to turn this game around, but that chance would get so tiny very fast. In the first 6 minutes of the quarter, Kelsey Plum would score 12 points and the Fever only 2, and that is no way to win a game if you're Fever. Plum was out of this world tonight, hitting everything: threes, free throws, floaters, runners, scoring the ball in each and every way known to humans. On top of that, A'ja Wilson also played great in this quarter too, making mid-range jumpers like she's a guard, which is best shown in this play where she receives 2 screens for her to get wide open at the free throw line. She of course knocks down the jumper. She hit 2 more, a little step back, and another mid-range. Starting the quarter like that, there were only a few bright spots on the Fever, of course CeCe, Boston, and Mitchell being all of them. Mitchell found her stroke tonight and shot 50% for 3, hitting 5 out of 10 threes, including these 2 in the last 6 minutes of play. And Caitlin Clark set up Boston 2 more times, once on a baseline out of bounds play and once on a pick and roll. But that was about it for the Fever this evening, and they ended up losing the game 69-88. Although the Fever came to compete and had certain individuals that played well, like Caitlin Clark that had double digits in assists once again with 11, and Boston with 18 points and Mitchell with 23, the Aces had way too much firepower, both A'ja Wilson having 28 points and a phenomenal scoring outburst by Kelsey Plum with 34, and that was too much for the Fever and Clark to deal with. Still, the Aces are the reigning champs, and they are supposed to play like this, and this should even be bigger motivation for young aspiring players like Clark to want to improve themselves in this league, and to see what they have to deal with to be number 1. You could really see the poise and the experience, especially with Plum and Wilson, that this is not their first rodeo. They've won before, and they are confident that they know what it takes to win, so that's the type of players that Clark and the other young players should look up to.